Funky.
Help the man.
Fucking
Help the man.
like 24 years ago.
What? Really?
94.
Oh my god.
Downward Spiral.
Oh my god, I remember buying it when it came out. Oh, dude. All right, we're done.
All right.
We're done.
All right, well, this is the shortest podcast.
I got. I don't like snorting coke on the podcast, but I got to get the fuck out of here and feel young again.
God damn.
24 fucking years, man.
Yeah, man. 1994. Downward Spiral.
Yeah, well, shit. Injustice for All is almost 30, so I guess it's not that shocking.
The cool thing is, because I was able to whip out a really crazy-ass white man UK dance on this thing, like middle-aged dudes would do.
Yeah.
Where you kind of throw your knuckles in the sky, but you kind of bring them down a little bit, but not all the way, but not all the way down. So you look really like a creep. I was able to master that move, which, as it turns out, Tyson Fury apparently dead at a weigh-in. Yeah,
it was all right, but there was the best part of the entire weigh-in, and I didn't realize it. I just watched it because I was burning time before I was coming out here. Because I usually do my homework like I did in high school about a half hour before I need to be here.
Which is great because I'm following my high school model too of not doing the homework at all and blaming the fucking dog or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you do have a dog you can blame.
That's right.
But they had two gals there because you got to have some good-looking gals if you got some big, mean people weighing in.
You got to have the minge there to kind of offset
That's
the
right.
weird, crazy violence.
It's funny you mentioned minge because that is what was on display, my friend.
Oh, there
these two gals,
bottomless.
Well, it might as well have been either that or these bottoms were painted on, because you basically, and even if you had poor internet and you were streaming this from a barn in a old dried up Salt Lake bed somewhere. At 240p, you're going to see some serious camel toe in this.
Boy, moose knuckle or camel toe?
To differentiate. No. Moose knuckle is for dudes. That's when there were no dick or balls here.
Oh, that's a dude thing.
Yeah. Moose knuckle is dudes. Camel toe is gals.
Okay. Well, at least we have animals that are not really common to our part of North America.
But we like to use their feet for terminology when we're wearing too many tighty pants.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's a sight to behold. I mean,
do?
if I was a boxing fan, that on top of the weigh-in would have gotten me pumped. But it's boxing,
right?
And our outside of Don's opinion, high opinion of boxing, we don't really share that.
Well, no, not really. I mean, I can appreciate a couple of fools beating the shit out of each other, but the problem is I want to see the highlights.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch 12 rounds of like, well, this guy's carrying the round because he ended up maybe, potentially getting in a shot that might have connected maybe with some human flesh and not great big old hook gloves,
And fucking title, 12 3-minute rounds. That's a long fucking time, dude.
That's a evening there.
People bitch about the UFC shit being too long. I'm sure boxing pay-per-views, that's why there's only maybe 4 fights on it. Because you're going to have fights that last with a minute interval. Is it 1 minute or 30 seconds in between rounds?
It's a minute. Yeah.
So 12 rounds plus 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's only 24, but
you're talking almost a fucking hour for a fight.
Because then it's 24. Actually, it'd be 12, 36, and then 12. Yeah, so
you're talking nearly 48. An hour for a fight that will probably go the distance.
Whereas in the UFC, you might get 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, 25, or in a main event championship fight, 25 minutes, 5-round, 1-round breaks, half hour. Yeah. From bell to bell, half hour.
Well, that's what the UFC is able to.
Unless Yoel's fighting, then there's going to be a little extra for a little bit of nap time on the bench.
Sir, you're going to have to get off that stool.
I'm sorry, I'm from Cuba. I don't understand.
I got shit to do here.
Apparently, that's a very old school trick.
Yeah, that's an old boxing trick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, an old boxing trick.
Yeah, but that is the thing, is that the UFC is able to build events around the half-hour model.
Yeah.
And even if it's only a 3-rounder, well, then you're talking 15 minutes of goes distance, plus you got your walkout and your fucking close of the whole thing, and then the minutes in between, you're talking still 24 minutes or so, and then you can run your 6-minute B-roll.
Yeah. UFC, I think, wastes too much time promoting fights on a card. People are already there to watch.
Yeah, but they use that promotion as filler, though.
Sure, yeah, but why can't they just go right to the next fight?
Because they still have to build.
Yeah, because on pay-per-view, the transition from fight to fight is relatively quick.
Generally, yeah.
If you have a 5-fight,
once you get on the main card, yes, you're right.
If you have a 5-fight pay-per-view and it starts at 8, you're probably, if you're lucky, that shit will wrap up between 10 and 10:30. If it's a fight of decisions, then your ass is going to be there past 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but the thing is, I also get it, though, because if you're operating on normal broadcast television, that means that you're obligated to run so many commercials, not just your own shit. But it is easier to build. With that 30-minute model, you can build a half an hour easy because you already know what to allot for the fight. The only thing that fucks you is if the fight ends early.
Yeah.
Because then, well, I hope you have a lot of promotional video for a lot of other shit that's coming up, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the promotional shit you see are also 3 minutes. So you work in the 3 minute, you need to run another 3 minute for long breaks, and then a setup fight, which is more like a 60 to 90 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not a TV guy, but I know how they operate.
Well, just like on UK television, when they're streaming an American feed, they have those little 30-second blocks. When it's still live TV in the United States, like, we're going to take this moment to run our own shit.
Right.
But it's a specific amount, like maybe 2 commercials, run it bam, bam, like that.
Right. Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the beast, but if you're a hardcore fight fan and you want to watch an entire event, you better just put the whole day away.
But you want to kind of still also make the broadcast as tight as you can.
Sure.
But as fight fans, though, we know to look at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour, especially if it's anything that's not a pay-per-view card.
Yeah.
Because we know the walkout is going to begin 30 seconds after the top of the hour.
Every half hour you're getting a fight started.
And at 30 minutes and 30 seconds at the bottom of the hour for the next one.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad way to do it, but it does make for a long day sometimes.
Yeah, but that's also kind of the beauty of it. I mean, to sit around and watch fucking 6.5 hours of fights once in a while.
Sure.
If it's a good card and I'm in a good mood and hadn't had a hard week and nobody's been busting my balls and fucking all things are good, that's actually not a bad way to spend a Saturday for me.
Sure.
For me.
Absolutely, dude. You know, I got to mention real quick before I forget.
By the way, all the MMA stuff that we've led off the show with, this is dedicated to our friend Josh LaCour.
Thank you, Josh Liquor.
Sorry for calling you Liquor. Sorry.
I will not apologize for that. It's a term of endearment. During my internet travels at work,
okay,
I think I've mentioned it before that I really got into these sashimi videos of preparation of live animals.
Right, yeah.
And it took a really gnarly turn, I'd say Tuesday night.
Not to get specific,
there's this one
Tuesday night about 11:35, and
there's this one Japanese master sushi chef who has like this token white dude film him and kind of talk to him as he prepares sushi. Well, this dude was like preparing a live frog.
Okay, like in biology class in high school.
No, but only breathing and still alive.
Yeah.
I never got a live frog. They were always dead.
Not?
Or the fetal pig. They were always dead.
No, the fetal pig we had was dead.
Never got a live frog that I had to dispatch.
No, ours were all fucking live. You had to dig him out of a jar, reach your arm down in there, and pull this bastard out of some cold ass water, and then you had to like do the whole thing of like driving the little spike between his little fucking brain. And then where he's still alive, and you could wiggle shit, and you could see the movement and everything.
Damn, you went to school at a cooler time, dude.
I went to school back in the old Daniel Boone days.
I mean, you can't get away with that shit now. You just can't.
That's why the world does not traumatize me today.
Well,
sir.
I actually am, and so seeing what I saw probably wouldn't have fucked with you too much, but I didn't expect it. Because the dude, like, he talks so fast, they show the killing of the animal.
Right.
Because they're all about fresh.
Of course.
And so the way this guy does it, he takes the knife and jabs it pretty much in that spot.
Right behind the brain, yeah.
But then comes down.
Yeah.
And basically just
and beheads
halves him.
Right? Oh, you're talking about the dorsal
half.
length. Yeah, okay.
Like
yeah.
from here to here, splits him in half, basically. The face the frog made when that happened might stick with me for a little bit.
That's a crazy way to actually do that.
It was pretty instantaneous, but it was still pretty goddamn horrific.
Because really, the only thing that you want to eat off of a frog are the fucking legs. So why are you even messing around with the rest of this shit?
That was all that was about was just a clean kill. Everything else, it was normal frog preparation, cutting off the ends, cutting the feet and the legs off.
Yeah.
And skinning it, which was a little gnarly.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring that up is there's this thing on YouTube that popped up on the side, and I was like, what are all these Asian women doing, like, with these YouTube thumbnails of them eating food? So I go to and they had, like, millions of views. There's something called Mukbang.
What?
Mukbang. Mukbang. It's an Asian thing where it's basically, and it's the thing I hate more than the pet egg commercial. It's just eating sounds.
It's chicks just eating,
and you hear everything.
Wow. So this is clearly a sexual fetish fucking thing for
that's
for
why
creeps.
There's millions of fucking views. There's even children that do it.
God damn it! Yeah,
millions of fucking views, and it's the most disgusting thing on the internet, dude.
Fuck yeah! I mean, one of the worst things is to be able to hear someone. I mean, outside of unless you're like at a ramen shop, I don't want to hear anybody like eating. I really don't.
Fuck no. I mean, I'm cool if there's other noise going on.
Maybe Red Lobster, where like somebody's cracking some goddamn claws because I know somebody's working.
That's a little different. Yeah, and there's other ambient noise, but it's just silence and this gal eating sushi.
God damn it, no.
And it's not a bad looking gal either.
Oh sure, well, yeah. Well, you think
there were some, but
roll
still,
somebody out from like fucking Eastern Tennessee.
They still had like amazing hit counts on this shit. It's amazing. It's like I'm gonna start doing this.
Yeah, well, good luck, sir. I would say
for
good
drinking.
luck to you.
I'm going to do it for drinking.
Yeah, good luck. Knowing that somebody is somewhere sitting around cracking their wheat, watching you drink a beer.
Hey, man, I know I've had people masturbate to me in the past.
I couldn't imagine the scenario, but all right.
Well, when the porn that I sold.
Oh, right. Well,
yeah, I wasn't the focal point, but I was in it.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, hold on, let me correct you just a bit. But
hey, man, if you don't judge it till you've seen it. It's $3.99 on the internet, I believe. Or if you know how to dig in some Pornhub, Brazzers websites.
Really?
Yeah.
So you guys went over the mainstream fucking...
Well, the people that bought it ended up putting it on the internet for free, of course.
Yeah, well, of course.
So,
God damn, I don't... Yeah. I'm not going to do a search for that, but all right. The rest of you, knock yourself out.
That is a very interesting question, though. What would you do if you're just checking out some skin on the internet and all of a sudden it was like someone you knew?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing you do is you text them like, holy fuck, you're on the internet. Are you aware that you're on the internet? I think that if you're a bro, that's the what. Yeah, you have to ask that question.
That's a big fork in the road. Either you get the, no, what the fuck you talking about, dude? Or, yeah.
Well, if you get the you go, all right, as you were.
Right on, dude. Well, I know you now better than I did before.
I know you a little more carnally than I ever wanted to. But
that's right. That's how you become bros. That's how you become bros when you're between the age of 17 and 24.
That's, some unfortunate incidents that might have occurred at some point in Tijuana. But, how
it always goes.
Yeah, not that I'm actually a purveyor of porn in any way, but that would be...
Liar.
No, legit. I don't fucking.
Oh, that's right. That's Mr. B.
Yeah. I just never. I don't know what ruined it for me. Some shit in the '80s, I'm sure.
I would have guessed maybe the military.
Maybe that because it was just in volume on VHS.
Sure.
At the time when I was in, but maybe that. Because goddamn it, as soon as you get out of anywhere out of garrison. Every married motherfucker in your squadron or division or battalion or whatever you're in is going to whip out some goddamn porn. And the married guys had the fucking best shit.
That makes sense. They probably had like the most hard stuff.
Single dudes had like fucking none, really, or very little.
Yeah, because they probably just had like a little gal.
It was like, well, I don't have time to watch that because I'm out banging bitches. So, what are you going to do?
Oh, God damn. Welcome
Oh, this is the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. Thanks for
episode Bucko 5. That's what freedom costs, by the way.
Yeah.
Bucko 5.
And a normal podcast this week. We went 2 weeks straight of having.
I know.
A
if
third.
anybody's wondering, there's no third here. That's just waiting to interject during our porn chat.
Yeah. Well, but that's the way that we actually kind of plan it out. We'll do about 5, 6, or 8, 10 episodes, and then get a third to hang out, whatever.
This is like back to back.
We went back to back.
Well, and Ruben a couple weeks before.
Yeah, it'd been a lot of thirds. We'll not do that much in December.
We enjoy it. And really but the great thing was 2 of them were brand new. So we'll make exceptions when we can get someone on that's never been on.
Well, see, the thing with the Brett thing last week is that, frankly, really, had he not moved, it would have been a 3-man fucking podcast every week.
Yeah, right out the bat.
And then it would have been a matter of like, our 4th this week is, so.
Wow, can you imagine running 4 fucking people at this table?
Well, we would out-talk the 4th all the time,
Sure.
so.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a lot of gas. Be like, no, I don't want to fucking go and listen to them gab on about shit. Damn. I hear that enough when I just hang out with them normally. That was a lot of fun having Brett on last week.
Yeah. No, that was the original intent of everything that we do. That guy's fucking, his fingerprints are all over as much as mine or yours. So
yeah, made for a top 5 podcast for me. It was very very appropriate for it being the 2-year anniversary, and just being a while since we've seen Brett, to have it all kind of come together and have a pseudo reunion out here in front of these microphones. It was really cool. Really cool.
Great. Let's get into a couple of things we usually do before we hit the main topics for the week, which probably this is a huge week on fights. The thing is, by the time that anybody listens to this, the Ultimate Fighter card's already over. Meaning then leaving a fucking stellar...
The Ultimate Fighter finale? I bet that wraps up at normal time.
Are you assuming people are waiting for this to drop? Is that the...
No, I mean the Ultimate Fighter finale card being done?
Yeah.
No, they're halfway through the prelims right now.
At the moment. By the time we are done with this podcast, and it is uploaded onto what we call lovingly the internets.
Yes.
And we get the word out to all the kids out there that kind of tend to dig our stuff. It'll be a little late on a Friday evening.
Yeah, but they're running at 8 to 11 on Fox Sports 1.
All right. Well, for the 2 of you that will be listening to this shit before the fights are over, fucking welcome. But but frankly, and we have an Adelaide card to talk about tomorrow. Music, there's fucking nothing out this week.
No. Yeah, it's weird how lax the music releases get after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have like fucking K&L Records or some shit anymore or whatever,
Yeah, and there's really not a whole lot of big shit to look forward to close out the year. I think we're done and people are already writing their lists.
That's the whole thing. I mean, way back in the olden days when people sold fucking vinyl, like the original vinyl, not the fucking second gen fucking, hey, we're going to start doing vinyl again, that shit and cassettes and whatever, and they were phasing out the 8-track. Yeah, man, the holidays actually were their big ramp-up time.
Right.
Now it's the opposite. You don't want to put out shit. If you can't put that out prior to Thanksgiving, hang on to that shit until after the New Year.
Or put it out digitally.
Well, but still, that's even kind of important in and of its own right.
Right.
Because the fact is, you also don't want to release your shit when your internet normals, the regulars, are posting their shit.
Yeah.
If they're doing an upload day, if you're doing like YouTube shit and some major goddamn internet artist is putting out shit on Thursdays, put out your shit on Wednesday.
It just makes sense. I mean, try to put your shit out when you don't have to combat anybody else.
Now, the other thing, too, though, is that YouTube also limits you that if you have over like 1 million views on a normal basis, you have to pick a release day. Because then you get a kickback, too, and also then you're
a little bit of free promotion, I bet.
And everything else.
Yeah. You get to become an ad, an annoying fucking ad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The biggest downside of YouTube, the free side of it, yeah.
Oh, man.
So anyway, it's let's see. Last time we talked, it was a Black Friday. Here we are on a medium crimson hue Friday,
a medium roast kind of Friday.
So, how's your week? Anything of note?
I had me another double quarter pounder with cheese.
Good man.
From McDonald's this week.
Now you pronounce it cheese because obviously throwing in the zzz at the end is a bit much.
Or like a Junior Western bacon double cheese. You know, I had made a comment to you the other day
about that one creepy guy that was trying to hire a chick, but only if she did certain things.
Yeah, the very same guy.
Oh, is it a different issue? Okay. I never know which issue we're going to talk about. So,
well, when it comes to how's your week, there's issues. There's always issues. No, the issue I was discussing with you the other day is how I kind of feel like potentially my tenure at this particular branch of hospitality might be coming to a close for me. It's...
Are you having to tuck in motherfuckers and like read them a book?
No, but I feel like I need to be armed these days. You know?
It's kind of shitty that really what used to be the best fucking hotel in town is now fucking crime central, apparently.
And it turned... It wasn't a gradual change either. It was a drastic turnaround. And it happened while I was gone and in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So
whoever they hired to replace you brought in a weird element then.
Yeah,
Do they have like a Zekis tattoo across the front? Or
I don't know. The person that was hired to fill in the gaps when I was gone, I never met. We were coworkers, but we never crossed paths.
Wow.
So that's why I've never had a bad thing to say about this individual, because I've never met this person.
Because the alternate Brandon, the mirror universe Brandon.
Yeah, well, this was a female.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's not. I mean,
I kind of like to think it would be.
No, if it's a real mirror, I mean, it'd be a different,
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Be like a good guy rather than a bad guy, and be a chick, and probably never imbibe alcohol at all.
Ooh. A sober and on you female Brandon. That sounds horrible. Dude.
I mean, wouldn't that make the perfect sense?
In Bizarro Land, yeah.
I'm talking about just the mirror land, just like because you mirror everything's different.
Okay,
everything's
now if we're talking total mirror universe Terran Empire bullshit, then you damn right.
Oh well, that's Star Trek shit.
And I wouldn't have facial hair. That'd be the other scary thing. I'd be sober, no facial hair. I might be a serial killer.
Wearing Dockers and killing motherfuckers and
I'd
putting
be
them in your freezer like
I'd be a fucking
Dexter.
murderer. Yeah, damn right. The only real complaint I have for the week is this. I was told 2 weeks ago that we had a mandatory fucking meeting at my job.
Cake and pie.
Yeah. People say more people show up. They know we have punch and pie. And,
obviously, this shit this week is going to be a little irrational. Sorry.
Unlike most Christmas parties, this is actually mandatory. So I had to be there. And, of course, I'm the type of guy where it's like, yeah, you bet your sweet ass. You tell me I got to be there at 1:30. I will be there at 1:25.
Because you're Mr. Loyalty.
Well, I'm Mr. Punctual. That's a big, important thing to me. Being raised by a grandfather, punctuality was a very important thing. So it's now officially a really important thing to me.
It's not wrong. I always say like 90% of life is just showing up. Well, showing up on time.
Yeah, that needs to be added to the end of that statement.
Right. Yep.
So meeting starts at 1:30. Mandatory, be there. Your ass is in trouble. Cool. I'll be there. Even though I work and I slept for half a fucking hour, my ass was there at $1.25. I was there. Idle chit chat with the boss. 1:30. The mighty division bell rings, and I'm the only fucking one there.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
I mean, we're talking like I don't know, what fucking at least a dozen or better fucking coworkers, right?
With a mandatory meeting, you're talking housekeepers, but they're already there.
Yeah, right.
They're still there working.
24 probably.
Let's see, me boss plus 5 is 7, 12.
Okay, so it is a dozen. Oh,
yeah, it's a solid dozen.
And you're the one of the 12.
I'm the only in the front desk crew outside of the boss that has shown up. So I'm like, ooh, she's going to punish everybody but me. Ooh, I'm like starting to turn into worm tongue, you know?
Well, Grima.
Like, maybe you should maybe you should punish them a little harder this time for not showing up when you threatened them to begin with. No, it was verbal. It was all verbal. And I was like, God damn it. If it was all going to be verbal, I would have stayed home and gone to sleep. What are you going to do, yell at me in the morning? Go ahead. I can take it.
Well, because by the labor laws of this state, you have to give a verbal first before you can give a handy. Verbal before you can give a write-up, actually. You can't just go straight.
Well, I
and
guarantee
write
you, everybody, including myself, we all have write-ups already.
Well, and I'm sure that's the whole thing, but they wanted to make sure they have the most recent record, and especially if you're getting ready to open a new joint pretty soon, then that way it's like, okay, corporate, we have given everybody a fucking verbal already, so we're good. So now if anybody fucks up, we can write them up, and
Except
then after that
the noble, loyal ginger man who always does his job.
Well, apparently, and you foiled their goddamn plans, so good on you.
I'm a good man. You ain't going to get rid of me. Well, you can fire me, but I'm going to get that sweet, sweet unemployment. I read a book a certain big brown friend of mine has.
The guy that's always able to get unemployment even after he quits.
Dude, yeah, he's got it figured out. Dude's got it figured out. So no one shows up till 15 minutes later. This is legitimately late. Wouldn't you say 15 minutes after you are officially fucking late?
If I'm still at a meeting at my place of business and it's fucking already been 15 minutes, that meeting's gone too long.
Yeah, and all the while, there was this blonde woman in the lobby, like, working on her computer. I'm like, oh, this is going to be really awkward having a meeting, because I thought this was going to be a fucking meeting where we were going to get to yell at each other, you know?
Yes.
I was looking,
Yes.
That's why I was there. I was so looking forward to air some grievances, right?
I'm so tired of your bullshit, Karen. I'm so tired.
I sure as hell am, Chip. Chip! So, but you can clearly, if it wasn't. That's not what it was all about.
It was basically you and the den mother, and that's...
Yeah. It basically, everybody that did show up showed up before 2, and then all of a sudden the blonde that was in the lobby started talking to us. I'm like, what is this? Why is she talking? She don't know me. Why is she talking to me?
Why are you chiming into our tribal conversation?
Because I'm tired. I'm wearing my sunglasses indoors like I'm fucking snorting K, you know?
Like you were like a 1985 Bears fucking team member, yeah.
Jim McMahon up in this piece. Turns out this mandatory meeting wasn't about getting some shit squared away. It was about Aflac insurance.
There you go. That'd be a reason for a mandatory meeting.
I didn't even open my binder that they gave us. I didn't even open it. And I just made eye contact with her the whole time. Well, I was wearing sunglasses.
So it probably didn't really work all that well then.
Well, you have a...
Now, hold on. Were they your normal daily wear sunglasses or were they your golden gears? Because that shit would have been a very big difference.
I only break that shit out at night when I need to fight crime.
The Austin fucking sunglasses.
No, I have not broken those out in public.
That would have been the time.
It might be next Saturday. Might be next Saturday.
All right. Well, that would have been the time.
Well,
an employee meeting and you're going to wear sunglasses inside like you're fucking Corey Hart from like 1980.
In my legit Mexican Baja jacket, just staring at this poor woman that's here to sell us really shitty fucking bingo lottery-based life insurance type shit. And I'm just staring at her like with every fiber of my being, hoping that she loses her voice and we get to go home.
But that's it. You could have like really upped the ante by wearing those goddamn golden frames.
Yeah, it might have been a little obnoxious, but I feel like I'm at that point.
I don't think
it would burn a bridge. I think it would just create a tale.
Which, by the way, if we can say this, the weird thing about Aflac, and I know that people get it, Aflac. Basically what they do is they pay you if you get something wrong with you. So you're kind of in a weird mode of having to split your fucking bet. Like you're in Vegas, but you're like betting against one team, but you're betting for the points.
They're all insurance bets. Yeah. That's all they are. I mean, which is apropos.
Yeah. You get cancer. That shit's like, they'll pay you $5,000.
Yeah,
so
this shit was ripped, but they'll only pay it once.
One time.
That's it. It's like,
so the thing is that if you're dropping coin, do a serious look. Kids shouldn't be looking at Aflac. You shouldn't look at Aflac until you're fucking 40, probably, unless you're going to do whole life, and that's a different fucking.
Yeah,
thing,
you had mentioned that was all right.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole different thing, and I'm not a financial guy, but it's right for you if you get on early. If you can't get on early, I was
in the next bracket, so I was like that. Fuck that.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like my paychecks are fucking millions of dollars as it is.
Fuck that. You don't want. You can overbuy insurance, and that's what insurance companies hope you buy. But yeah, Aflac's one of the weird ones because they're basically selling you things like, hey, hope you get fucking sick. Here it is.
Right.
But so anyway, this promotional message is brought to you by Liberty Mutual. The
primo.
No, fuck that. I'm kidding. I'm clearly lying Clearly lying. Actually, I'm kind of opposed to most insurance in general, just out of principle. But
It's a sham. Well, how was your week, my friend?
Not bad, actually.
All right, cool. We're done.
Oddly, not bad. Nothing weird happened at all, because the fact is now I'm working a different shift because I have a different gig, and I show up to work in the morning before anybody else is up generally. And
got a different gig.
Yeah, it's the same kind of a fucking thing, man. But it's and I get off in the afternoon about the time most people are going back to work from lunch. It's an odd existence. I don't really see people, and that's okay.
Yeah, when you're getting off work, I'm usually balls deep in a heavy metal themed dream that's animated.
Well, yeah. Now you work a weird one because you're fucking
yeah,
overnight.
it's
I'm talking like I'm a weird one because it's kind of a normal job, sort of. If it was about 3 hours later in the day.
Yeah.
So if you take your normal, like, people working 8 to 5, shift that shit 3 hours. That's what I work.
God, man, I can't be around people during the day.
I'm really kind of not.
Yeah, that's true. But you're around more than I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which that's the way it should be. I shouldn't be around people after 7 o'clock. I just shouldn't.
You're around probably more people than I am on a weekly basis, though, just because you're mornings.
And maybe 5% of them are locals, but I'd rather be around the 95% that aren't locals than the 5% that are.
Mm. I'm not opposed to moving on to Mead.
Let us advance, my friend.
We went ahead and bottled the batch we've been talking about for a very long time, about White Shadow Ranch.
God damn. I had a Reuben reaction when you mentioned that shit.
Yeah, it's a good batch. It's a good batch.
It really is. We were able to pull little glass out before getting into, which, by the way, I mean, clear down to the bottom of that secondary.
Yeah, it's one of the clearest batches we've had. Yeah,
when you can see the leaves on the bottom, you're doing well.
Yeah.
With the extra time, with the green chili hits your nose immediately. The apple stays on your tongue.
Right.
Nice warmth coming down. It's a boutique batch. It might be one of our best.
Yeah. No, I have no doubt. And you know what? If we're going to do the best, then that's the ones I would rather, the people that are really the ones that are buying a case batch at a time.
Right.
I mean, nothing against single bottle purchasers. We're good with that. We're fucking absolutely good with that. But those are batches coming off of basically our vision, and we're the only ones we're trying to make happy with it. This one, we actually had a client that we had to make sure that they're satisfied with it as well, and that's what we've got. So,
Ooh, and I think so.
Yeah,
I do believe so. Yes. I mean, it's. I almost want to offer him double what he offered us. Like, no, we're keeping this one.
I told him, I said, Brandon had an idea that maybe we could, spread around that we accidentally dumped the whole batch on the floor, but, yeah, but.
I accidentally dumped all the Coke I had into the batch, so I decided to keep it all for myself, keep it off the streets.
Public safety hazard here, so.
But yes, I am the QA man of Echo's Vengeance, and it gets the seal of approval from me, man.
Yeah.
Of course, I haven't had an entire bottle of it, but I'll talk to Mr. Medeiros about that at a later date.
But, and that's about it. We'll, I don't believe we're going to start a batch probably before the end of the year. Maybe. I don't know. We could potentially start a really...
Well, really, dude, if you think about it, this year we did 2 batches.
Yeah.
But they are 2 of our best batches.
Sure. Time is always the
absolutely,
best thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can't buy time, so...
I love it. I mean, I think 2 batches a year is a great schedule.
It's not a bad schedule. It's certainly not the one. I don't get that because we end up having inventory, and that inventory gets older with each passing month. But people that, and if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably one of them, the people that they want the first bottles off of a batch. And that's cool. That's what we're here for. But it's weird to me that then suddenly anything you're excited about buying an early bottle off of a batch, but then a year later, and we've still got that same batch, and that bottle's even better, and you're not hitting us up.
Yeah, that's a weird thing about Mead. See, with time, it doesn't get worse. Where it's like, oh, we better get rid of this.
Yeah, no, it gets purely better. And
we have a certain festive bottle that's turning 2 years old next month.
Well, actually, this week probably. Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had that because we wanted it bottled well before the holiday, the wine and cheese.
Yeah, in 2016. Yeah, that's Holly King. I think we're down to a bottle or two. And so that means it's off the market now.
Yeah.
If you wanted it before now, I'm fucking sorry.
You better be a good friend to us because the only way you're going to get it is when we crack it open to have for ourselves.
Right.
And you just happen to be around.
Then that's absolutely it. But
it's a great batch. I'm looking forward to getting everybody else's opinion on it. And shit, I think that's closing out. I think that's closing out 2018 strong on the Mead aspect of what we're about here.
I think 2019 we'll see probably a greater volume of batches. I think.
And maybe try something a little different, but keep the classics in the spin there.
Yeah, I mean, I've already thought about it. And speaking of Holly King, because I'd actually had somebody ask me a question on that, if we're going to have any this year. We didn't do a batch to prepare for this year. But for 2019, December 2019, we might very well do that. But if we do, we're going to probably start it in about fucking February or March.
Yep. Right when everything begins to turn back to spring back to life.
Well, but that's the whole thing. But it'll give it a full 8 months. Once we get it out of primary fermentation into secondary, every day, every week, every month counts in a very big way for what your final product is going to be. I mean, we could turn out a batch of meat in 30 days, but I don't want to. I don't want to turn out one in 60. I don't want to turn out one in 90. Start talking 120 to 150, 180 days. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I think now our new quickest turnaround is 4 months
usually, but that's
how it should be. That's really how it should
probably
be.
is. That probably is. I mean, early on we were excited. We were like, hey, let's keep turning out batches. Well, yeah, but make sure that you're turning out the best thing that you can turn out. Music and mead are similar in so many ways, and that's one of them. Why would you rush a process when you can really put all of your effort into one thing?
Damn right. And when we began doing this, the very first batch we produced, we offered to people.
Right.
We were learning as we were going along. I mean, the first batch, Troublemaker, shows that.
Right.
But that also was one of our best batches of all time. I might be just looking at it with a little more sentiment rather than
nostalgia
it being a proper batch.
Can warp your opinion.
But God, just that gold coming out of that cobalt blue, man, was a beautiful sight.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to 2019, man. As far as making some pretty good booze.
Like I said, I really think that probably to lead off the year, probably to start the Holly King for late 2019 might be the way to go. Get that started. But then I think a batch one is probably in order. That's our vanilla batch that, just like...
Because there are folk that just want a sweet honey wine.
Right.
Maybe not with the...
And that's the one that satisfies that. It has nothing terribly special about it.
No zazz.
I mean, it's a pure mead. But I think that one, and there's some other things, and probably maybe even thinking about approaching doing Scarborough Fair again.
Ooh.
And for those of you old timers, you might go, that wasn't that great.
We understand.
And you're not wrong, at least not initially, but once that bottle gets about a year old, all those weird, crazy herbal components that they get overpowered by the wine, or by the honey part of it, the wine portion of mead. And it kind of overtakes it, but it takes on a crazy thing to where you can taste those, but it's not a bad thing. So do we want to spend a year making a really good batch? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Might be a good thing to take up.
If that is, it's probably going to be one that will start about midsummer because of the fact that that's when my herb garden will come back in.
Oh, yeah, that'll be the time to do it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to some fucking metal.
Okay. Well, you want to handle this for a second? I got a Budweiser or 4.
I fucking guess I will. It's
because I know the week is rough. There's not a lot of great things out on releases.
After Thanksgiving, man, it's really tough to find. Like, there's no releases to get stoked about.
Now, the one thing we're waiting on, and it's got to be that there's got to be news. If there's not releases, there's got to be news.
There's actually a bit of news. I'm going to wait for you to come back because I do have something I can go through while you tinkle. Loudwire has put out the 30 best metal albums of 2018. Loudwire is not a website that I would use. It's like to take them at their word for how good the year has been for metal in their opinion. But it's the first top anything for the end of the year, so we're going to give it a run through here real quick. Number 29, Immortal, Northern Chaos Gods. Well, they're actually getting some metal on here. Let's see. Craft, White Noise, and Black Metal. That might have actually fell under our radar. That was coming in number 27. Let's see here. Ministry at number 24. We talked about the Ministry album, Americant, with the K's, all three of them in in uppercase. This is just an album of angry political jargon that is for a specific sect of fan, and it wasn't us. Let's see. Number 22, Behemoth. I Loved You at Your Darkest. We chatted about that a little bit. Let's bump on down. See, Loudwire had number 16, High on Fire's Electric Messiah. That's not bad. Seems like whoever wrote this list actually had a pretty diverse taste in metal. That's
a rare thing.
It's pretty, yeah, rare and important. Morphous, Queen of Time, number 13. Not bad. The Ocean. Phanerozic Zoic. That's a stupid word.
Yep.
That's a dinosaur word. But that one song that we played a couple weeks ago was not bad. Number 10, Yob, Our Raw Heart. It's good to hear some stoner metal on the list, especially in the top 10. Not bad.
Right, yeah.
You had Zakk Wylde's Greatest Hits at number 7. Damn, you get a Greatest Hits album in there?
We haven't actually talked about Zakk Wylde on the podcast, have we? Or has this been more of a Mead Hall discussion?
It's been I think we've chatted about him when he rejoined Ozzy.
Because people love him or hate him, man. I mean,
that playing style, you love it or hate it. Those false harmonics he hits all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's and that's his go-to. He's a talented motherfucker.
I have no doubt that guy has got more talent in his little finger I've got in my old body. But god damn it, he can certainly be very divisive on whether you think he's a fucking metal icon or not.
No, dude shreds. The dude is a shredder. But I do understand why people can take or leave him. Yeah. I get it. We'll go to top 3 here for this Loudwire list. Number 3, Judas Priest, Firepower.
That's their newest one, yeah?
Yeah. Came out, when did it come out? Their 18th studio album. That came out like near the beginning of the year.
January, February, yeah.
Number 2, Ghost with Prequel. I have to say it's about Ghost. When that album with Absolution in Year Zero on it, I think Year Zero, I don't know. But it was really good. It was riffy. It was really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. And it seems like every album that's come out, there are 2 albums that's come out after that.
Right.
Not as good.
Slow.
That's because apparently there are no static members outside of the front man. You can tell when that shit's the case.
It's like an Agalloch kind of an arrangement.
Yeah, I would not put that high. Top 10 maybe, but just because of their popularity, not at the... And if they didn't have this goddamn gimmick to fall back on, do you think people would listen to them?
No.
No, me neither. I feel that way about Slipknot. I feel that way about Kiss. I feel that way about a lot of bands that have gimmicks outside of their musical talent. But they're number 1. I got to give them credit. Sleep, The Sciences, having like a legitimate gloom, doom, sludge band be your favorite album year, and it came out on 420 for fuck's sake.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, because the whole thing, when you start getting into the single name kind of shit, that you're dealing with a lot of the stuff that goes beyond just doom, it becomes like almost like sentient, fucking ambient, fucking metal kind of
right.
stuff.
And there's already a genre. I mean, that's already taken care of.
Yeah.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
And then we can move on to the double-decker that is the fight card that's currently going on tonight. The old upper-decker. Okay, there's a band out of Toronto named Witch Rot.
Right.
Been around for... I don't think they weren't super popular. They're pretty much a local band out of Toronto that sadly broke up.
Okay.
But now they're super popular because of how the breakup was explained. It was in a internet post. It looks like it was on Facebook. And it accompanies with a picture of a broken, I can't tell what kind of guitar, because the headstock, the neck, and the body are all in separate pieces in a garbage can.
Oh, so a serial killer got to it.
Yes, someone that had an issue. And here is said issue. Due to the unfortunate reality of our guitarist fucking my girlfriend of almost 7 years, Witchrot will be taking an extended hiatus. I, however, will continue the band in another space and time, being ripe with hate. The music is slowly flowing and without a doubt will become the most devastating, torturous music I have ever created. Thanks for the support. Stay heavy, Peter. And then at the bottom, also, our drummer died.
Wow.
Metal Injection had this labeled as the most metal band breakup announcement of all time. And I have to agree.
Well, I will say, for all you kids out there that are 12 or 14 years old, listen to this podcast, and we know we have a bunch of you.
Yes, both. Thank you, both of you.
That's why you want to become a guitar player. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Or you can go to school first. That might not hurt either.
Don't want to be the drummer, but guitar player is good.
Oh, man. I just reading that, and the drummer dying was secondary to him getting his heart broken.
Yeah,
that's so great. Also, you signed off on it, too. Then it was basically postscript, our drummer died also.
Oh, by the way.
That's also a really good reason to break up a band.
This asshole's no longer around, so.
Well, apologies on fucking metal being so slow. And the only birthday of note is, shit, where did it go?
Billy Idol.
Billy Idol's birthday today?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, there's more than one then.
Well, it's not metal, but I mean, shit.
Actually, I'll take that back, too. Eric Bloom, guitarist from Blue Oyster Cult.
There you go.
And 1944, and also born on this day in 1994, John Densmore from The Doors.
There you go. Not a bad round out of the day.
Not a bad day to be born in the 40s.
Billy Idol, I think his was in the midnight hour.
Did you say Beery Idol?
Billy Idol.
I've just opened my third beery.
Born in the midnight hour. Yeah, okay. All right.
Moving on.
Thankfully.
To MMA. There are a few big little news nuggets coming out today.
Big little news
nuggets. John Kavanagh, the head coach of
Conor
SBG
McGregor's
Ireland, and Conor McGregor.
Striking coach, right? Yeah.
No, head coach.
Oh, okay.
Just as head coach. He had said in an interview pretty recently that he hasn't talked to Conor since the fight. But we've seen Conor. I mean, shit, the dude was at Dallas at a Cowboys game trying to throw a football. Very poorly, I might add.
Yeah.
That did his manliness no favor. Why do these people that are manly try to go throw the first pitch at a ball game and look like a goddamn tool?
Yeah. No, it's a terrible thing we have going on in sports. Like, hey, we do this. How about you come up and do it? So that way we can embarrass you. And that's what it is. Yeah. But nobody's hip to that shit except for the fucking athletes themselves.
And we might be seeing a Ronda Rousey situation here because on top of Kavanagh not talking to Conor since 229, Owen Roddy, Conor's striking coach of 15 years and the striking coach of SBG Ireland, is out of there. He's bailed. He's not saying he's retiring or nothing. He's just saying, I'm moving on. And it was a very nice see you later. End of an era after 15 years of fighting, coaching officially finished, working in SBG Ireland. Just want to thank everyone for all the amazing memories. Loved every minute of it, blah, 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 blah. Is that a red flag?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything about Conor's career, it's going back to the 145 champ. Everything in that entire course of that is a red flag. He's had a shitload of successes, but he's had a shitload of failures.
Yeah. Are we seeing the mighty downfall like we saw with Ronda Rousey? Yeah,
and what you're going to see is Conor McGregor, if I'm guessing, because he doesn't need the goddamn money. Because once he came back and fought against Khabib, then suddenly the opinion was, Conor's back. He's back. He's not back. He came back for a fight. He was like Brock Lesnar at 200.
Yeah, he would have won that belt. We would have seen his ass in 8 months.
Sure, but I think what we're going to see is Conor disappear for 4 or 5 years. Dude has got a pile of goddamn money. He doesn't have to work. As much as it might pain a lot of Conor fans, he doesn't have to entertain for you anymore. He doesn't have to. Now, the thing is he going to make some bad decisions with money and shit? I think he's fully capable. I think he is.
Oh, absolutely.
But if he's not a complete dumbass with his money, I think dude holds out 5-6 years, and then the UFC will put together a UFC 300 or whatever. Well, it'd probably be.
But then you're gambling. There's going to be another guy.
No,
there's going to be several.
You have to hope for that. You have to hope that there's another guy. You can't have Conor being your guy.
I don't know. If you're gone from the sport more than 4 I mean, just like watching that fucking Chuck Liddell shit last week.
They'll put together a UFC 300, and it'll fucking have Ronda Rousey, and it'll fucking have...
hell no, she'll be headlining WrestleMania.
It'll have Conor McGregor. It'll have all these fucking fools.
I think all these fuckers will be in the WWE.
Potentially.
I mean,
you're not wrong.
Conor's already talking about going to WrestleMania, and Ronda Rousey is making bank.
Fuck yeah, because it is about the money.
For basically playing grab ass.
Fake fighting pays a shit ton more money than real fighting.
Yeah. But you still have the equal chance that you might get injured and have to be shelved for a couple months.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But as far as head injuries, unless someone fucks up and shit goes wrong, you're going to be okay.
Like Owen Hart.
Well, that was a little more than that. That was a whole body injury.
I'm pretty sure that was a head injury.
His body landed on the on the post where the turnbuckles are.
Oh, okay.
His body landed on that.
So it wasn't a head injury.
It was like a sternum. He landed on chest first.
Yeah,
and then
probably a
back
little grisly talk for that, but oh well.
Yeah, well, hey, it's
what we do. It's what we do.
I'd bought that pay-per-view too. I was watching that pay-per-view. And then at the end of it, fucking Jim Ross comes out and lets everybody know that he died.
Yeah, because they cut it, right? Because they'd run a delay.
Yeah, they had said they were about to run a video package of the match that was about to happen, and you hear Jim Ross just say, and we got some serious problems here. And he had already fallen before they had thrown to the package. They throw the package, and then all of a sudden there's just silence, and you're looking at a shot of the audience.
Yeah.
And then finally hear like Owen Hart was involved in this. This isn't a storyline. This isn't fake. This is very real, and we're dealing with it. But the show went on afterwards, man.
Well,
everyone saw a dude die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the uninitiated, yeah, Owen Hart, WWF, I think at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Attitude
Era Owen Hart.
Yeah, he was supposed to come in on like a zip line or some shit like that, but not a zip line, but
basically just drop from the rafters.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. There's the equipment malfunction, and instead of a slow entry into the not the octagon, into the ring, yeah, motherfucker just free fall. Like 45, 50 feet.
It was like 60-something feet.
Landed
chest first on a turnbuckle post, and then bounced back into the ring and died.
Can you imagine being in fucking as a spectator at that shit? That's tragic, dude.
That'd be like, I mean, I can't envision watching someone die live. You know what I mean? That's heavy. That's a little too heavy for my taste. I'll watch fish be killed alive and turned into tasty sushi.
Right.
But I won't watch people die on TV or people eat. It's equally the same to me.
Yeah. So there's one MMA. Let's move on to what we got to do because I want to get this Friday night underway. We got
you goddamn right, my friend.
To do.
I feel it coming to the top. It's bubbling to the top. This is a rare one. We actually have 2 fight cards. One currently going on right now, which is the Ultimate Fighter finale. Which I can tell from personal experience, sometimes it can be pretty good. Not that I've been there or nothing.
Oh, yeah. Save $1 and not having to pay for going to the fucking big event. Hey, worked out. That was
hey, I got to see Justin Gaethje, so it was worth it. This one's actually pretty good. We've had some fights wrap up. Tim Means won his fight in the early prelims. First round TKO over Ricky Rainey.
Yeah, rare win.
Yeah. A win he fucking needed to. Joseph Benavidez got a first-round TKO win over Alex Perez. Apparently, the catchweight Rick Glenn Kevin Aguilar fight hasn't happened yet, so we haven't hit the main card, which we're
really hoping you're listening to this immediately when it drops.
That's right.
That's what we're banking on.
There's only 2 fights to talk about, and if there wasn't for the main event, I wouldn't talk about this other one. Pedro Munoz fighting Brian Caraway. Brian Caraway is a name that we like to talk about here.
Yeah.
Dates a certain...
That's when Misha Tate dumped him, went out, found
and
another
moved
man,
to Singapore,
found another
and became
man,
an ambassador.
And had a child.
And did it, yeah.
Thanks,
like,
Brian Caraway, for 6-7 years of dating. Thanks.
Did everything that she probably should have done with Brian Caraway. Why be with him that long? And then immediately does it with the new guy and is now living in Singapore, working for one.
There's kind of an interesting little fucking thing on this I can inject right here. And it has to do with a study that came out, and that when it comes to dreaming, the majority of women dream, when they dream, they have nightmares. The majority of guys have dreams that are sexual in nature. I do believe probably the two are both predicated upon the opposite sex.
Probably. I don't know, man. What about the rare folk that have like dreams of having superpowers?
Or what about the like nightmare sex?
Sex so good it's scary. Pedro Munoz and Brian Caraway and Bantamweight. Who do you? We really
Good move.
We took a right turn right there. I don't think it's going to be Caraway. I think he's still bummed out that he's not with Mead Tate anymore.
Yeah.
And now he can't live in Singapore with her. Your main event, though, looks like it's going to be a pretty good one. Rafael Dos Anjos fighting on an Ultimate Fighter finale card. Wow. Wasn't this guy just fighting a certain Colby Covington for the title just recently? Fighting Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, Usman all the way. Until this African loses. I mean, he's not a Nagano type. This guy is a legit fucking fighter.
Yeah.
Until he loses, I'll stand behind him. But the thing is, if he beats RDA, you know the next opponent they give him is going to be a guy that's just a fucking outright fucking wrestler.
Right. Anyway, I mean, he's an Ultimate Fighter winner. It's an Ultimate Fighter 21 winner, so it's past my rule.
Right.
After 20, I don't make that as a bankable thing anymore.
RDA's looked a little small and slow since he beat fucking Anthony Pettis.
Yeah. But and Usman did not look good in the Maiev fight. That Maiev fight should have been ended.
But I think that the problem he's just not accustomed to a dude that wants things to go to the ground.
Yeah,
and that's where he's got to get work there. He's got to get work.
Moving on to tomorrow's fight card from Adelaide. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good day for the Aussies. They're going to be saying goodbye to Mark Hunt, of course, because he's going to have his last fight on his contract out there, and I doubt he's going to re-sign.
Well, why would he at this point?
But see, here's the thing: all the other options are going to be going to be dirtier. Unless ONE FC, I don't know. You don't hear about a lot of ONE FC fighters getting popped for being bad.
Right.
I don't know if that's a testament to the fighters and their program, or if that's because they don't have a program to begin with.
It could be, but I do know that it would be definitely a step back if he goes to Bellator or fucking Ryzen, even worse. But you have to remember, though, that his area of the world out of Australia, that guy could very well go ONE FC.
Sure. Yeah,
because
maybe.
That's where they fight. They fight in that side of the world.
What do we got here? In the preliminary card at flyweight, you got Wilson Reyes fighting Ben Nguyen. Now, Ben Nguyen is the guy that if you've watched MMA knockout highlights or people getting their comeuppance, he's the one that knocked out that guy with all the tattoos on his face.
Yeah.
And tried to fucking intimidate him and ended up getting slept in 50 seconds.
Yep. Ben Nguyen's really skilled. Dude's stand-up is fucking beyond reproach, and his ground game isn't terrible. If you kind of have those two things going for you, then you're not bad. I mean, he can sweep his way out of some bad situations.
This could be one of the last flyweight fights we see.
You think you're going to fold it?
After Dillashaw and Cejudo? I think that...
If TJ wins, you goddamn right they will.
Oh, TJ wins. Yeah, TJ, they're going to go pro wrestling and bring out a garbage can. TJ's going to just fucking drop it in there and set it on fire.
Having said that, I like TJ against Cejudo.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Like in a dangerous way.
And Reyes lost to Mighty Mouse, lost to Cejudo, lost to John Moraga. I really like Ben Nguyen in this one.
Yeah.
Moving on to the main card in your Coco main event. Coco main. Light heavyweight Shogun finally getting back on the card, fighting Tyson Pedro.
All right. Apparently the senior PGA is alive and well in the MMA world.
They were talking about Shogun fighting for the belt again. Remember that shit?
In 2004? Yes.
No,
yes,
just fucking recently, dude. Until he fought Anthony Smith. And then everyone's like, oh, never mind.
Oh, the guy that looks like a convict completely shut him down.
We're the assholes. Just because this guy has fought once a year and he won 3 in a row, but he's fought once a year. I got Pedro in this.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
The Shogun era is done.
I'll vote for Pedro.
Vote for Pedro. Your co-main event, which I'm actually looking forward to more than the main event.
Well, this is Coco main. Oh, there's a Coco main. Okay.
No, now this one is your co-main.
Okay.
Just a single co. Mark Hunt, the man that got me back into the game 5 years ago, I think, when he fought Bigfoot in that 5-round draw, just beating a gassed Brazilian. It should have been to death, but still lived. Fighting Justin Willis. Now, they had a pretty heated little encounter at the weigh-ins and the faces-offs.
What you talking about, Willis?
Well, I'm on like beer 4, man. I love Mark Hunt. I don't like his online persona.
Yeah.
I don't like how opinionated he is about. Dude's had a shitty pull of fighting guys that have cheated. I get it. That's just the name of the game. He's always said he's still going to fight and kill whoever he's going to fight. I don't think Mark Hunt's going out with a win, though.
I do, because it's in his homeland. I think they found a guy that Mark Hunt can fucking probably dominate, and that's who they're going to let him close out his career with.
He's not closing out his career. He's closing out his UFC tenure.
I think they're one and the same, unless he really truly wants to have a little bit of controversy hanging around him, because he's been very critical of a lot of shit. But yet, all these other organizations, maybe with the exception of ONE FC,
I think we'll see him fight in Japan again.
Maybe.
I think that's what we'll see.
But
they love him in Japan.
Dude's older than you are, man.
Yeah, but they love him in Japan. They'll pay him. Ryzen might pay him some serious cash.
Well,
and why not go there where their fucking testing is top notch? Gabby Garcia passes piss tests all the time, even though that urine is green and glowing.
Yeah. Well, they're the new pride. But
I want Mark Hunt to win, but just something deep down in my gut tells me it's not going to happen. He's going to get slapped.
I'll go with Mark Hunt, and yeah, let's go with that.
Your main event, another heavyweight battle. Junior Dos Santos, another long in the tooth Brazilian man, but heavyweight, so it's a little different, I guess. Fighting Tai Tuivasa, the new up-and-coming Mark Hunt.
That's the guy you should probably root for, but I'm taking JDS because the fact that I fucking sometimes unfailingly listen to the picks of James Vick, and he thinks JDS is the winner on that one. So I kind of fall in line.
I think this is going to be the Australian that fucking wins tonight, and people are going to love. They're going to be wiping the tears from their eyes when Mark Hunt getting knocked out by Justin Willis,
and then leave with joy.
Tai Tuivasa will hit a heavyweight flying knee and send the crowd home happy. I think. So I think this fight's over in the first round.
We're opposite poles then on the outcomes of the fucking co-main and the main. All right.
Yeah.
Well, one of us is going to be fucking very wrong, or we're both going to be kind of right. So.
I'll take that. I think that's a far better result. I'd rather all of us be kind of right than one of us be really right and the other one really wrong.
Well, that might be. That depends on the outcome.
And really quick, Sage Northcutt Sage Northcutt cut. Signed with ONE. What do you think?
That's probably what he needs to do, because the guy is not skilled. He
could be, but not yet.
That's the thing. I think his potential's through the fucking roof.
Sure.
He doesn't belong in the UFC if all he has is potential.
Yeah.
Get some wins. Get in there, get some work done, and come back to the UFC and demand a fucking big paycheck.
Yeah. Go somewhere else. Go to ONE. Kick some serious fucking ass. And then come back and make that cheddar and get that legacy start.
Yeah, I think so. And don't do it so late in the career that you're like Ben Askren.
Yeah. Either that or make a porn with Paige Van Zandt fucking her on a boat somewhere in Europe. I'd watch that.
Tag me in.
There you go. Got it. Let's get on the picks.
All right, on to the picks. Picks for the drinking stylish shit. I'm back to cheap Budweiser tonight.
I'm stealing a bottle of Cortez. Yeah. he would have wanted it that way. No, I'll stick to beer.
Well, because we're going to have quite the soiree next week, which, by the way, next week's drop on the podcast will be a Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe our last Thursday podcast of the year.
Yeah,
as we are winding down. Metal. God damn.
Well, there's really nothing to get excited about today.
I know, man. Never have I looked at Audacity and there's been a just fucking 4-second silence after a metal pick.
Valhalla, check them out. They're okay. Today's Blind Guardian re-release day.
Yeah.
And they are very similar.
When I heard that older song that had vocals on, I was like, God damn, this guy's trying to be Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian. And they're like, oh, did you know they covered the Bard song? I was like, I'm officially not that surprised, but I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
That's not my pick. My pick of the week has got to be. I'm sorry. My pick of the week is actually anything fucking Tool at this point. Yeah. Anything Tool.
Getting cravey.
Yeah.
I am going to go. I'm fucking going Alice in Chains. It's been a while. I haven't listened to him all week.
Yep.
MMA. Who would win in a fight? Chuck Liddell
or Ken Shamrock?
That's a really intriguing fucking option, actually. That's a fight that might actually be a fight of two guys that just don't need to be fighting anymore.
Right.
I'd pick Chuck Liddell. Because the day I don't, he's going to show up and kick my ass.
All right.
If it was
who would you take in a straight up catch weight between Jacare and Damian Maia?
MMA rules?
Mm-hmm.
Jacare.
Yeah, that's the right pick.
As of today, the Jacare of today would beat the Damian Maia of today. Yeah. Now, if it was a fucking BJJ tournament, fucking Damian Maia's making him go to sleep. Unless he gets a goddamn hold on him, fucking like north-south choke style, then the game's over.
Yeah.
But I think Maia would outclass him. On the feet, though, Jacare has knockout power.
Yeah.
I still pick Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell with the run-in.
What about I don't think we've seen it. No, we haven't seen it. What about Yamera? How about Romero against Luke Rockhold? Yoel Romero against Luke Rockhold.
We didn't get Yoel and Luke?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Now you're making me do.
Oh, wait. Or is that the one that Yoel actually finished him by the goddamn flying knee?
No, that was Chris Weidman.
Okay.
Yeah, UFC 221. Yoel and Luke.
Oh, he did destroy him. Okay.
Because remember, Yoel didn't make weight, so only Rockhold could win the interim belt.
Oh, that was that confusing mess, right?
Yeah, and then in the third round, Yoel ended up fucking putting him down.
Damn it. Oh, well.
So I pick Yoel Romero.
I'll pick that guy because, yeah.
Well, my friends, we're going to go have a couple drinks, Randy.
A couple Chardonnays.
Yep, just a few Chardonnays. What of it? We are going to be leading you out with something. I know something. Something's going to be coming.
Yeah, I think, well, my dreams of Tool, I think, will probably work nicely. Yeah.
Well, after about 6 more beer, might be able to make that dream a reality.
Yes.
We'll see you next Thursday. It'll be December. Should already fucking be December, but
it all means something. It all means something.
About to close it out, bitches. 2018 shut down.